Still Dripping Happy Hour.
Welcome to episode 172 of the Still Drippin' Happy Hour. I'm your host, Mason, and on the move tonight, we got Dan the Man.
Got a little breast milk in hand, boys and girls. Welcome, welcome.
Oh, man. Hayes has got some kind of pink eye,
Hayes
I
is
believe,
basically
or
dead right now.
yeah, if he's still alive, we hope he gets better.
He looks, I've never seen a man look like that before who is not a boxer. I mean, he's in
Yeah.
tough shape right now.
Yeah, he had a pretty swollen left side of the face. He said pus was coming out of his eye. I hope that's not a violation of HIPAA, but I think we're fine.
Nah.
Anyways,
We're good. We're good.
we'll if Hayes doesn't get better, all the proceeds from our Printify store will go to Hayes's recovery. You can see it on the YouTube right now.
That's right.
Still-drippin.printify.me, and you can get all your summer favorites. Riley, if you're listening, we haven't made your shirt yet. Hayes is on IR, so we'll get to it. We'll get to it very soon. Shout out to Riley for sending in some requests for merch. So, along with that, be sure to go follow us on Instagram at StillDrippinTN. Boy, I know as this podcast gets going, I've got to get a fan out here because I'm going to be red in the face by the end of this. If you're on the YouTube, thank you. Please subscribe, like this video, and you'll enjoy getting a ceiling or I guess, a ceiling tour of Dan's home throughout the pod. Dan's multitasking with, what are we, 3 weeks in, Dan? 2 weeks?
We got 2.5 weeks in right now.
2.5.
It is.
How's Miss Olivia doing?
Miss Olivia's doing great. Really hanging in there, coming in clutch. Not always in the nighttime, but between the hours of like 2 p.m. and 5 a.m., it's pretty questionable, but all the others in between there, pretty good. So
Okay.
we're like 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. Those are prime hours for just like happy baby. So
Okay.
if that tells you anything, I think we're in the thick of it right now, as they say. So, but happy.
Okay.
Happy. Can't complain.
That's very nice. You could use a little sleep, I'm sure, though.
A little bit of sleep.
Always
I've been miscalculating my caffeine by absurd numbers, and so went to Panera to meet a guy from church later this afternoon, and I drank on accident while we were talking, like a ginormous thing of iced coffee. So I feel like I could probably stay up till 3 a.m. and be fine.
Yeah, I'm
And it was
not sure your body is loving you for that one.
No, it's not figured it out by any means, because we start off the day with a 42-ounce Yeti full of coffee, and we go from there. So
I'm not a coffee drinker, but boy, we've got at least 10 restaurants within walking distance of our house. I'm telling you, if Panera, that's the one that I really want to open, because I'd be on that unlimited sips like club that they have. I would stop 3 times a day and get whatever drink I wanted to, just because it's free. I mean, you've already paid for it, but
that $9.99 a month, man, yeah, you'd be wearing it out.
Oh my goodness, they would probably like ban me. If we had a Panera that close, whoo boy, it'd be bad news. I've thought about just canceling my Spotify and just doing that. I mean, if there was one in a convenient location to me, $9.99 is pretty good.
It's pretty good when you think about it. I mean, if you're stopping for coffee twice a week, that pays for itself in 2 weeks easy.
Yeah,
Easy.
Easily.
And if you're going to Sonic, even during happy hour, you're paying for that thing in a couple weeks. No big deal.
I mean, I love a good Sonic water, but their waters are like, you get a large water, it's still like $1. Like, come on, Sonic, it's freaking water, man.
I've got a
We've got I can throw a rock and hit a Sonic, so we know about going to Sonic at every moment's notice.
I've got a major complaint to air on the pod. Speaking of monthly subscriptions, I would pay so much money to have a company conglomerate all my subscriptions once again, so that they are no longer in 16 different places. It is. I tallied it up yesterday, and it's outrageous. It's got to stop. I mean, there's some that we've got to have, but there's some highway robbery. Getting my bank account is getting jackknifed every month.
Yep.
Once a month. And it's like, man, how am I? We are sheep. We are but sheep in this country paying these monthly subscription fees. Pitiful.
Yeah,
I
we've
really
cut back on a lot. We'll go in and out. I think I've convinced my wife finally too. We cut Netflix for about. If you cut it for less than 9 months, it saves all your user history.
Ooh.
So we
there you
cut it for
go.
like 5 months, I think. We're back on it right now, but I think I've given her enough so far that she can go without, and every 6 months we'll log back in and pay for it just to keep our history. But
So we're paying
yeah.
for. I have my list right here. We're paying for Disney Plus, which we
We
get our
got that
money's
one.
worth out of that. Like
Yep.
we watch Bluey every night before bed. Good. Peloton raking me over the coals at
Mm.
$48.18 every month. Is it worth it? Yes. Am I going to keep paying it? Yes. Do we use it? Yes. Now here are the ones that make me angry. Spotify at $16.41 for the Duo membership.
Yeah.
We
That's
listen to
tough.
music every day, and so like, yes, if we were true good Dave Ramseyites, we would like cut all this stuff and be like, we don't need any of this stuff. Let's go touch the grass. But we're not. So we pay for these things. We got Simply Safe. I called them and canceled that yesterday. They gave me 3 months
Nice.
free. I said thank you. And then Apple has somehow coerced us. They've tricked the entire universe into having to buy at least 2 terabytes of data. Because it's like, hey, do you want 200? Yes. In 6 months, that fills up. The next level, instead of paying 99 cents a month, you're paying $10 a month. And then it's
Yeah.
like, well, maybe I should look at getting the Apple Family Plan. It's like, well, you don't save any money because that's $26 a month.
Right.
It's just the whole. It's infuriating. I got on
Yeah.
a real burner yesterday trying to. I went down a lot of Reddit threads and I put so many things in my calendar. I mean, it's just. I'm going to try on Black Friday to really scam these companies this coming year. That's my objective.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. The Apple service, I've just realized that I'm gonna keep my pictures, but not everything else on my phone's gone. If it's
Yeah.
gone, I mean,
Yeah.
and I think
Yeah.
at this point, I'm just gonna start buying external hard drives. They've got to be cheaper than what Apple's charging at this point. I mean, you pay one of those off in a few months with what Apple's charging. So I'm with
I
you.
think you can get like a 10 terabyte hard drive for like $4, probably off of Temu, and it works fine. Like, you can't tell me that that's not possible in 2024.
Yeah, I don't know if I trust that though. If we're talking family pictures and stuff, I want to be able to keep those. But
I can understand
we'll
that.
see.
It's
We're
very fair.
yeah. I don't know.
Anyways, that's my
Yep.
gripe. That's gripe of the week. It's not part of the podcast. It's not a segment, but it really got the bones jerking around yesterday. Angry
Well,
pilgrims.
man. All right. Well, this is a sneakers pod. Shout out to I don't know who our sole listener or viewer is right now, but shout out to you. Drop a comment. Tell us who you are. I didn't even send a text out this week telling people what time we were going live. So I'm sure it's Captain of the Droplet Army, Mike. But it could be somebody else. So let us know who you are. If hopefully it'll be a surprise.
Maybe Hayes with one eye open is just like
maybe Hayes is one
chilling.
eye.
He's
Oh, Dean Huffman,
chilling.
main
Oh,
man. Dean
Dino
Huffman trying to
Begino.
rise in the ranks. He must have like notifications on because this is a Thursday. I mean, shout out to Dean. We didn't go live last night, which is normal for us on Wednesdays, but shout out to Dean for having those notifications on. We love you. Shout out to Dean also for playing basketball at 5:30 a.m. this morning. He was cooking. So, anyways, what were you going to say, Dan?
Dino Guido. This is a sneaker podcast. We need to get to the actual segments before I need to leave. But another gripe of the week is all of the NBA and the NHL playoffs. I mean, I thought that these teams are getting cooked. There's not a series, and I mean the Celtics are just better for sure. And I mean it looks like Florida's just better. But I was really hoping for a couple of weeks of entertainment at night, and I mean I was even thinking Adam Silver was going to calm the game last night, and he wasn't even able to do it. So I don't know. It's the most disappointing ending of series that I've seen in a while. Just not even close.
Yeah, huge NBA fan, but the playoffs this year, I mean, there was 3 good series maybe, and this wasn't one of them. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. I love the Mavs this year, and I love watching Luka and Kyrie, but gosh, they don't have enough. The Celtics are just too good.
They don't got it.
For as balanced as we heard everything this year was, like, they just blew everybody out. The Celtics, I mean, wasn't even a match. They didn't even have like a close series.
No, they literally did not. No, it was what they've lost one game in the last 10 or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's right. They only lose like at home. They don't lose on the road,
which is also insane.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, and
I agree with you. Quite a doozy.
I mean, we're 3-0.
This is like our final before like the Olympics. Like we've got a month break after this, and this isn't even like going out on a high. You're exactly right. For sports fans, this is at least Tennessee fan here. We've got the College Baseball World Series coming up.
That's right.
So hopefully we last, and then it'll be a month when that ends till the Olympics. But I'm big, all in on the Olympics this year.
Hey, we've got to be in on the Olympics. I need football to be back as soon as possible.
Yeah,
and it's not going to be back anytime soon. And so we're going all in on the Olympics.
Amen. We might have some watch parties over here.
The wife is big in on Olympics. I mean, that thing is going to be on 24/7.
Yeah. It's perfectly timed that it'll be during paternity leave.
Oh, yeah.
And so no tape delay for me. I am straight live every single event from Paris. Is that right?
Yeah, Paris. Oui. Here's the latest. Here's the latest human edition.
Oh, sweet! She's so tiny. And I assume Brooke's doing good too. I should have asked that at the beginning.
No, she's hanging in there for sure. So y'all can watch the ceiling while I change a diaper. You might hear some crying, and then some feeding will go on after that. So this is 2024, people. Fatherhood is in full swing.
Wonderful. Well, keeping with NBA news, we lost. Well, I think we talked last week. We lost Bill Walton.
Yes.
Who, I mean, if you wanted to get a pair of shoes to commemorate him, the Grateful Dead dunks would be wonderful.
There you go.
We also lost Jerry West, the logo. So
people forget. People forget that the logo is Jerry West. I feel like.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad to see the kids who are like, Jerry West, who's he? It's like, he is the NBA. He is the icon. He is the man. Like, that's like being like, hey, where did the Jumpman come from, and not knowing it's Michael Jordan? Come on now, people.
Fair. Wow. That's a big comparison. But I don't know. If you ask JJ Redick, Jerry West only played against plumbers and car salesmen or something. I don't know what he said, but the only finals player to have an MVP and not win the finals. I think that's right. Be on the losing side.
wow. I didn't
Yeah.
realize that.
Yeah,
See?
pretty impressive.
Stats
So,
on stats over here. They
yeah,
call us a sneaker podcast. It sounds like we be sports biography podcast too.
we got everything, man.
We
Everything.
got it all. We got babies. We got Jerry West. We got Delonte West. We got. I mean,
Woo!
you're talking about some heavy hitters. We got them all.
Heavy hitters. That's what we bring. All right. I got a few slides. We'll jump inside the box real quick.
What's inside the box?
That's my shoe in the box.
First up, what we saw this week, saw Travis Scott sitting courtside again at the NBA Finals, and this time in a Jumpman Jack new colorway, the black and green, which in my opinion looks very clean. Thought this was really dope. Dan, I don't know if you saw this or the next piece of news, but somewhere, I'm sure it was Florida. We're just going to say it was in Florida because I don't really remember through the article, but there was, I think this was cocaine wrapped in Nike SB branding on the bricks.
There we go, baby.
How random is that? This was found in a lake, in like the bottom of a lake or something. They fished this out. And it just the Nike SB branding, I'm not sure what this means or what it was designed for. But it is all drugs. It's just so random.
Yeah, that's like when you get something from Amazon and it's clearly straight from Xinjiang, and they say in the directions like, make sure you don't keep this, and they mean to say on, but instead it's no. Make sure you don't keep this no in. And it's like, what? This doesn't make any sense. It's like the off-brand, like maybe the drug cartels were like, hey, we're going to really get people with these. They're going to look exactly like shoe boxes. And then it's
You're right.
like, no, these are clearly drugs. Like this
Yeah.
is, you're not kidding anyone with these.
Yeah. Definitely somebody in Florida had this idea.
Oh, 100%. Florida or California.
I had a few more, and I wanted Hayes to be on for this next one of what we saw this week. But a few weeks ago, we saw on the left the cleats that are Fernando Tatis Jr. And then on the right, I found this picture of Hayes. And I think it's recent. It's under a Panama Slim Instagram name. And it's for his music account. But I just had so many questions on what this picture is.
If only Hayes looked that good right now, we'd have him on camera with us.
I think we should just put this picture up in the corner for the whole time. This is like
that's awesome.
Like a redneck version of Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a responsible father who has a full-time job.
Right. Maybe that's the goal in the music industry.
Right.
I'm sure he would actually hate us saying this, but it's all right. We love you, hey, Skip. I hope you get out of the hospital soon.
Yeah, that's tough. No way around it.
Something I saw this week. I had to put it in the slides. Anyways, Dan, did you see the poop shoes? You did see those, right?
Yeah, tough.
Well, apparently
bad.
they listened. Nike has been listening, or Nike SB has been listening to the podcast, and the poop shoes have taken a dramatic change and lost the poop on the bottom of their sole. So, shout out to Nike for finally doing something that makes sense. Like, who wants that shoe on the left? Like, if you want it that bad, you can do that yourself. But the shoe on the right looks much better. I don't know what happened.
That's wild. I wonder if maybe like one of the factory workers was in there and then like slipped in an oil spill and then was like, oh frick, I forgot to take a leaked photo. Let me take it real quick. And then next thing you know, Nike's like, whoa, this is
right.
This was all fake. This isn't what we were coming out with. We're coming out with something that looks so much better.
Right. Yeah, the materials look a tad bit different. It almost looks like a fake pair on the left with some doo-doo stains. But like the suede
It's
looks
tough.
different. The swoosh is not like what do you call that? Like faded or
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I
Transitioning
do.
from one color to another.
Yeah.
The swoosh on the regular pair is all black. It looks like a cork colorway almost on the shoe on the right, but
Yeah.
I think it's just I don't know. This was called something cinema. Had to do with cinema.
That also checks out.
Yeah,
Hollywood wackos would wear something like that on the left and call it cool. So,
absolutely. Yeah, this
I
is a
mean,
terrible look. Still, I still don't think it's a good shoe. It's a light years better from having crap stains on your shoe.
yes, that's right. That's
Goodness
exactly right.
gracious, it's a bad one. Keep going. We're gonna make it a quick one today, but I don't know if you saw this. I think it was Ben Baller went on a podcast and was talking about Nego, Bape's founder, at the time that he was, I guess, still president of Bape, had owned factories that made fake Bape, and he made 300 million off selling the fake Bape hoodies. That is like next level stuff. I don't know if that's true. I would think it's true. Like, why would you make that up? But he was praising like how genius it was. Of you've got this ultra expensive Bape hoodie that's hard to get. So why don't you just make a bunch of fakes of your own brand? And I mean, I guess if people are making fakes anyways, why not make them yourself? I guess.
that's yeah, that's gangsta babesta right there. I mean, that is A plus marketing. You got that's a yeah. I mean, kudos to that man. He knows how to
Yeah,
play the game.
absolutely. I mean, my question though for you is, does that mean they're fake? How are they fake then if they're coming from Bape's founder
I,
and
I
owner?
like I like that question. That's a is a hot dog a sandwich, or is it a hot dog? I don't know.
Oh, a wild one. I listen to every Jelly Roll podcast with Bussin' with the Boys. They did with Jelly Roll on the podcast, and he asked the question. They did the top 3 condiments, and Jelly Roll said peanut butter is a condiment.
That's not true. That's
Not true.
false, right?
I don't think so. I don't think peanut butter can be considered a condiment, but
Yeah,
I don't
like
know.
no, that's got to be false.
Like I don't think a condiment can have protein in it, right?
Like
Well, like that much at least.
like condiment is mayo, ketchup, mustard, relish,
Now
pickles.
I've heard of people eating mayonnaise sandwiches, a little below the poverty line, but I
Uh,
think generally speaking it's a topping. Peanut butter and jelly sits by itself as a sandwich. And if anything, the jelly would be the condiment.
yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right.
Oh, okay.
That's a wild
I,
take.
I know. That's one of the only things I've vastly disagreed with Jelly Roll on, that and all the drugs that he does. But apparently he's not doing that anymore. So shout out to him. He's on the Dana White. He's got the Dana White doctor with him now.
Oh wow, he's
Yeah,
really going to be moving up in the world then.
he's trying to be skinny. I don't know if you can have a name like Jelly Roll when you're skinny.
That man does need to lose some weight just for his general well-being.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
Anyway,
also, like he is putting a lot of stress on those Jordans he's wearing. I'll tell you that, a lot of stress. Those things are moving in all sorts of directions that they
we're
are never
really
meant to
testing those
move.
air bubbles, boy.
Oh man, those Air Maxes are maxed out.
All right. I think we're going with not fake, right?
Yeah, not fake, right? Yeah, we're
Not
not
fake.
dumb. That's not fake.
Yeah.
We're not. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Not
300
fake.
million though, man. If 300 million that's insane. Hayes sent these to
Yeah,
me. I don't know why. I don't know if he liked them or did not like them.
this is a so in the original Air Up Tempos, the ones that are in this colorway, for those of you thinking or not watching, they're the like USA
Yeah,
just
USA
very.
Pippins with the air spelled out on the side.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Um,
This is in a slide form.
in a
So
slide form. That's right. We I gave Hayes one of these not in the slide form. I don't know, probably 8 years ago, in his size, and he said he loved them. So I assume he loves these, but
okay,
I could be wrong.
okay, very nice. That
So
like I said, don't have much more on that. One thing that is coming out, Air Jordan 5 reverse metallic. So essentially, it is reversed everything. The tongue's not reverse; it's still metallic. 3M on the tongue, but you just swap in the white and the black. I believe the sole on the metallic or the midsole on the metallic is still black, though, right? That's an all black
I
shoe.
think so. Yeah. No, it is. 100% it
Okay,
is. Yeah,
so
no, it's definitely all black.
not not all reverse, but we've got a
Yeah.
75% reverse metallic Jordan 5
Yeah, so
here.
this whole thing is kind of a scam, I think is what we got to the bottom of. Nego,
Yeah,
not a scam. This scam.
scam. Yeah, I think these are coming out maybe next year. A white Jordan 5 is a good look.
Yeah.
I don't know if these are really worth getting unless they're one of the only 5s that come out next year, then people might
Hmm.
go for them, but it's I think better than we've seen from the 5s, but I don't think this is something that's really hugely noteworthy. Um,
It's amazing. Like I understand that Jordan is never going to fall off, and they haven't really fallen off, as they say. But it is kind of amazing to see the rise and the maybe the leveling out of Jordans and the hype around what's coming out. I mean, there's still people who make a living solely off of Jordans and Nikes and
yeah,
reselling and all that stuff. But I mean, even when pictures are coming out of black cement threes and Nike Air on the black back, and it's just like I'm excited about those, but I'm not going to go stand in line for them. I'm sure there are people that still do that, but it's amazing the leveling out that occurred in the sneakerhead world over the last few years.
yeah, I agree with you. One thing I did want to bring up, and it's not totally related to that, but a little bit on the Jordan brand. What do we think of the holiday Jordan 11s drop? Is that still like
Yeah.
that's I feel like some years it hasn't been one of the top drops of the year, and that seems disappointing to me.
What is it? Last year was it the con-
And
DMPs?
when yeah, was that
Or
it
was
might
that
have
several
been.
years ago?
I don't know if that was the holiday release or if it was earlier in the year.
Huh.
It was probably holiday. I bet DMP was holiday
What is this
release.
year's? Surely they've already.
Is it Columbia? The
Maybe it
Columbia
is the
or
white or the blue.
the white with the blue swoop
I
or
think you're
blue
right.
jump man?
Yeah, I think you are right.
Let me look on
Huh.
my app and I'll tell you in just a second. But I
I
guess
feel like
since we don't know it, then that just answers our question. It's not as revered as it used to be, and I don't think really any sneaker drop is. But was that probably the most iconic or classic drop that we had every year? Like you
oh
knew that was
yeah,
coming every year.
that's right. You knew it was coming and you look forward to it like all year. Like it's the
Hmm.
pair of 11s that you're like, man, I gotta get those.
Right.
And I think maybe when they started doing weird things like 72 11s and when they started doing things like, you know, the because what there was like the midnight navy and none of the pairs like looked bad by any means, but
Yeah.
they started getting away from like the classic iconic colorways, which I mean at some point you have to because you can't just continue to recycle, but that's when
Yeah.
it felt like it kind of started dropping off a bit. And two, when they
Yeah.
started making like, 1 million pairs and it wasn't a question whether or not you could get one pair, you can get 5 or 6 if you gave it the best shot.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're right. I think it might have started all the way back. there was a ton of hype around it, but what was it? I'm trying to look back. 2013 when the
Ooh.
Gammas came out.
Yes.
And I remember thinking, that looks like a Space Jam. It's just all black. And I don't think all black looks very good. But
for some reason, the Gammas were on my list of get whenever I got a full-time job for forever. And then when I realized by the time I could quote unquote afford them, I was like, I'm gonna look like an idiot wearing all black shoes. Like I can't buy these. But it was all one of those that was like, man, these things, they're awesome.
Mhm.
I love them. I think they're
Yeah.
great. But
Yeah, so
alas, here we
man,
are.
just listen to this. So starting in 2009, we only had Jordan 11 highs coming out in December. We had some lows sprinkled in, but very rarely. But you got 2009 had Space Jam, 2010 Cool Grays, 2011 Concords, 2012 Bread. So we just started out with the 4 OG colorways.
Hitting it hard.
Yeah, I mean, that's insane. Then you've got the Gammas in 2013, so a huge drop off there. 2014, you have what they called Legend Blue, which was the Columbias, the white ones, and also another one that was $500, and it was this Gift of Flight. It's like a
The
UNC
Pantone
PE.
pack?
Yeah,
Oh
and
man,
so that one was 500.
I got
That
horned
also
up
came
for
out
those
in
big
December.
times.
I mean,
freaking
it's a
love
beautiful
those.
shoe. Yeah, absolutely a
Again,
beautiful shoe.
I would look like an idiot wearing those, but man, I thought they looked so awesome.
Yeah, it came out with these 29s.
Yes.
Yeah, those
Oh
right
yeah.
there. So it was a pack
yeah.
for 500.
Yes. I remember what
Um,
the pack looked like. I remember seeing it on like Twitter and Facebook and different, and I was like, man, I got to get my hands on a pair of those. And that
Yeah.
was like, middle of college, and I was like, there's no way. I can't spend
yeah,
$700 resale on a pair of shoes.
right.
Or it was, you could get the 11s, and the 11s themselves were like 500. And then
Yeah.
you get, I was like, I don't want the 29s.
Yeah.
But
And here's where I think we started going downhill. Let me tell you, it was just after this, April 2015, the Georgetown lows came out. So like you've got those 5 pairs of Jordans every December. Then 4 months later, you've got the Georgetown lows. And then after that, I feel like we've just recycled. I mean, the Space Jams came out the next year in 2015
Yes.
also.
yes.
So you're recycling that one. And then
When did the Georgetown lows come out?
Georgetown lows came out in April of 2015. And
I got
then
a pair sitting in my closet, and it's the pair that I wore to my rehearsal dinner. And it is, I think I look like a real idiot going to rehearsal. I was wearing like khakis that didn't really work, and then it was like a dumb button-down dress shirt. I just, really wish I could kind of redo that whole outfit situation, but I did wear the Georgetown 11 lows. It was the first time that I had worn them.
very nice.
And I have great memories in those shoes.
Yeah, 11s are a good classy shoe though. I mean,
They are.
I wore Space Jams at my reception, and
Yes, you did.
I do have to amend something I just said previously. December 2015 was the 72 and 10s.
There you go.
2016 was the Space Jams. And so I got the Space Jams in 2016, got married in 2017, 2 weeks after you. That's when I broke the seal on those.
Shout out 7 years. Couple weeks,
7
baby.
years. Yeah. Let's see. I guess that's when it started to go downhill. We had Cherries, the Obsidians. We had some coming out in November. What was that? The Win Like 82 was the Obsidian colorway, right?
There you go.
It was this
Yep.
one called Win Like
Yep.
82.
So I bought those the same day that the Pigeons dropped. Those dropped at
wow.
Rooted like first thing in the morning. The Obsidians did, and then later that night is when the Pigeons came out. And I thought I was just big money boy over there sitting buying $220 pairs of shoes and then turning around that night and spending another $110. That was so dumb. I think I didn't wear them and I think I sold them at a loss for like $180. So I think I probably
Oof,
lost like 50, $60 at the time. But oof,
that's tough.
yeah,
Stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, I would say that was the one we remember from 2017, the holiday drop, but it was in early November. The
yes,
December drop was these Win Like 96
the
pairs,
red ones.
all red
Yes,
with a black Jumpman.
yeah,
Not great.
not up
Um,
my alley. I'll say that.
yeah, we had a lot of stuff after that that was kind of a downer, you would say.
Big downer.
Um, and then we had a few bright spots. Concords came out, right? That was 2018. Do we have breads come out again in 2019? So we are just
Yes.
recycling. We're getting a few crappy pair, and then they're just recycling the OG colorways.
That's right.
So
I do
anyway,
wish to. This is not call me a hypocrite, not a true sneakerhead, not an OG Jordan fan lover. I have always loved the lower cut on the 11s with the patent leather instead of the higher cut that's, more OG to the brand and the original pairs. I just think like it's too much patent leather. And I know it's not by
mm,
that much, but there's just enough where I think it makes the shoe look a little bit dumber unless you have a small foot. So,
mm.
hot take.
I
I
do
the not
think
original.
a lot of the retros that we've been getting recently, it feels like the patent leather is a little fatter. Like you get a little more
Yeah,
than you used to.
yeah,
Um,
I
for
agree.
me, I've never had a pair of 11 lows. Um, but to me, it doesn't really matter because you can't wear them with shorts. The lows or the
That's right.
highs, you can't wear them with shorts. So,
Nah, nah.
um, for me, I'm just a cool gray and Concord over and over again at work. That's probably one of my favorite Friday illegal sneakers of the week.
Cool gray is you can't miss with those.
Oh yeah, it's a great pair of shoes.
It's a great pair of shoes. You can throw that on any Jordan model and it's a win. It's a win for me.
Oh yeah, I'm with you. All right, next up, I don't want to. Let's move quick through these. We've got our sneaker sommeliers pack right here. We've got I think 2 or 3 sneakers that I want you to kind of tell us what you're picking up from previous sneakers that you see on these new ones. We've got first up the Curry Flow. I think this is number 11. Curry Flow 10 or 11, something like that. So if you're not looking online, we've got looks like a gray and lilac. Would you say that's lilac?
Lilac is a great descriptor of
Okay.
this.
Lilac colorway. You can look it up on Instagram or go to the YouTube. 38 minutes in, we lost our one viewer on this shoe, I guess. Dan, are you seeing any familiarity between other shoes that you could describe this one with?
Yes, and I think we're reaching a tipping point with a small child. But I mean, this is a which this is a Jordan by far like a Jordan what 34, 35?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. We'll let you take off, Dan. Thanks for joining, or you can stay on if you want to. But I don't want to disrupt
might
Miss Olivia.
this might take a little more effort than than I'd like for it to.
Yeah, that's totally fine. So thank you for joining.
Hey, Mace, love you. Good luck with the
Love you.
rest. Keep up the good
And
work.
we'll hold it down. We already got 40 minutes, man. I could call it right now. I'll just run through my sommeliers and then I'll peace out too. Thanks, Dan.
Peace.
Love you. All right, there we go. Anyways, shout out to Miss Olivia for hanging in there for that long. We're gonna keep on rolling here, just solo. We've got the Steph Curry Flow 10 or 11, man. I'm not really sure. It does look a lot like a Jordan 34. What I'm picking up, the new Nike Infinity Run, I think is what it's called. The newest one that's come out recently. It looks a lot like that with the cushion on the back. I can't tell if there's any air on this. We haven't seen any release. This is from Curry in a pickup run. It's like 98 degrees in this shed right now. But anyways, this is Curry in a pickup run. So we didn't get any formal release on this from Under Armour. Pretty blurry pictures if you're looking at it along with us on YouTube. Yeah, so we're gonna keep going, but yeah, those shoes I referenced are pretty good that Dan referenced as well. So we'll move on. Next up, we talked about this last week. I think Hayes said it was a meat dehydrator or just a fruit dehydrator, some kind of dehydrator. It looks like this is, I was wrong. It looks like this is the Anthony Edwards 2 that we saw last week. Adidas said it wasn't, but everybody else is saying it is. And so not sure Hayes was right. I'll give him his props. I was wrong totally on this, but it looks like this is an Adidas AE2. And while this picture looks better than the one we saw last week, it's still not good. It's not building on the momentum of what AE did with his first sneaker and with this season. This season he took off, as did his shoe. And so I don't think this is going to be received positively in the marketplace. Yeah, we talked about it last week. You can go hear what we said, but this is a pretty bad one. And next up, we had this some women's running exclusive. To me, it looks like they mashed up Air Max DN, the new ones, with a Skechers like shape up. I'm sorry, the name is blanking on me right here. But you can go to the YouTube and check these out as well. I'm sorry, I don't know what the name of this is, and I'm not finding it at the moment. So we'll keep going because that is the end of the Sneaker Sommelier segment. Remember, that's the segment where each step is savored and every soul sent tells a story. So thank you for joining us on that ride. I think that's it. We had Dean drop. I was going to maybe promote him in the Droplet Army. I think he's private first class at the moment. So no sergeant this week, but we'll hang around and see for next week. We'll keep him in the loop. I think that's going to be it. We're not going to belabor the point on this one. Thank you all for joining on episode 172. We cranked it out. We got 45 minutes, I think we will have by the time we end this. Shout out to Dan. Shout out to Olivia. Shout out to Hayes and his left eye. I think it's his left, with the pus coming out of it. Remember, people, don't sleep on farted pillows. If it's farted on, just wash the pillowcase, please. Don't put your eye to a toilet seat. That's how you get pink eye. That's how you get pus coming out of your eye. Hayes, get well soon. Remember, go to the Still Drippin' Printify store for all your Still Drippin' summer product, summer merch. Let us know if you need any more merch or if you have any ideas for merch. We're going to do a live pod soon if Hayes is alive and well. So keep an eye out for that. We'll probably have some guests coming through, get Mike on the pod and a few others. So keep an eye out for that. And that'll be it. Go follow us on Instagram and subscribe on YouTube. Hit the like button. With that, we love you all. We'll see you next week. Peace.